This is Sean Flynn. You guys probably know me as Chase Matthews from Zoey 101, and you're watching the Boys Podcast.
Hey!
Hey!
We're here to talk about what's going on between Zoey and Logan. They've been sneaking around, telling us lies. I want to know what's up.
Why do you care?
Because I'm a caring person. See?
And welcome back to our episode of Boys Podcast. My guest today is an actor. You may have seen him as Chase Matthews in Zoey 101 and now Zoey 102, Jason in Devious Maids, and many more. So welcome the legend himself, Mr. Sean Flynn. Welcome, Sean.
Hey, everyone.
Well, it's an honor. It's an honor having you on, Sean. So.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Yeah. So, Sean, what have you been up to? How's Sean doing? How are you doing, Sean?
Sean's doing great. Sean's working. Aside from what you just mentioned, we got the opportunity to get together again as a cast. Zoey 102 is in action, so that's awesome. I've also been working here in Atlanta. I work at Eagle Rock Studios Norcross, and we have a few other locations too, but I'm now director of operations over there, so a lot to take care of and maintain, and a new culture for me to sort of like dig into and learn. So it's been really cool. It's been fun. And, I'm here today on a nice Sunday afternoon, and, I'm hanging out with my wife who's over in our bedroom over there hanging out, and it's a nice cozy day. Nothing to complain about.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Chill day on Sunday?
That's a chill Sunday, baby.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, if you're wondering how I've been up to, I've just been doing these interviews, trying to get them out, for the viewers,
Oh, that's great. That's so cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, I heard that you've been doing a lot of interviews with different people and having a lot of fun with that. That's really cool.
They're honestly a lot of fun. Like, honestly, like my next interview I'm posting before I post you is with the lead singer from this band back in the 80s and 90s. They're called Tesla. Did you ever hear them before in the 80s?
Oh, yeah. That's cool. That's awesome.
I had the lead singer, so he's the next one I'm posting, and then there'll be you.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Just keep pumping them out. That's great.
Got it. So, Sean, what made you want to become an actor? Who is like your biggest inspiration from an actor?
Well, it's funny. I've been acting as long as I can remember, because it's just sort of been a part of my upbringing. It's part of my lineage, you could say. My grandfather was a famous actor in the golden age of Hollywood. His name was Errol Flynn, and so, when I was younger, I think it was only natural that my mom decided to see if I would sort of take to those acting waters, so to speak, see if I would swim. And she started taking me out on auditions, and it clicked pretty quickly. I had a lot of fun with it. I never really minded going out to auditions, and a lot of kids, especially at that age, you either love it or hate it. And I really didn't mind at all. I enjoyed it. So, by the time I got old enough to understand what was happening, I was excited about auditions. And I always, to this day, there were a couple really close calls for me before I got Zoey 101 that were really exciting as a kid. I auditioned to be Brendan Fraser's son in The Mummy 2, The Mummy Returns. Yeah, so The Mummy was always like a big movie for me growing up because I had it on VHS. I'm a part of the VHS generation where we'd have 10 VHS tapes, and you would just play them over and over again because those were the only things you had to watch, right? Before Netflix, all that stuff. So I had The Mummy on VHS, and I loved that movie growing up. So when I got the opportunity to audition to be Brendan Fraser's son in The Mummy Returns, I freaked out. Yeah, I was like, this is so cool. So things like that were always, a huge inspiration for me. The idea that, wow, I saw a movie, now I could be in the sequel, or, wow, I saw this actor in something and now I could be working with them. It just made me really excited. So by the time, Zoey 101 came around, and I remember I got the sides. That's the basically the pages with the lines on it that you get as an actor. So you don't get the whole script. You just get a piece of it. And it's usually not even the final thing that you'll see on TV. It's just some words that you have to go into the room and say them. But on that script, on those pages, on those sides, it said Untitled Jamie Lynn Spears Project. And I remember seeing those words and going, oh, wow, this would be so cool. I knew it was for Nickelodeon. And I got excited. I wanted it. What can I say? Yeah.
Wow. Did you look up to any actors like Brendan Fraser? I'm assuming is one of them.
Oh yeah, I mean, listen, I've always loved movies. I've always loved getting captured by a movie, by an actor, by a story. So for me, I really am a classic consumer in the sense that when I watch a movie, I get into it. Like I forget that I'm watching. Especially if it's a good movie. If it's a bad movie, then that's harder to do. But I'm the type of guy who really, my wife will be there pointing out, oh, there, look, that cup wasn't there before, or she'll, little inconsistencies and things like that. And, we call them continuity errors in the industry. And I never noticed stuff like that because I'm too busy caught up in the story or too busy caught up in the performance or whatever's happening. So I've noticed that because of that, I really feel like I get caught up in the magic that is, a good story or a good performance. And as a result, I've always been attracted to anyone who can make me believe what they're talking about.
Wow. Like I said, though, like you're very gifted, very talented, Sean. Like you're very funny, very cool.
Oh, that's so nice of you to say that, man. I really appreciate that. That's it's up for debate, but I really appreciate it.
Of course. Now, what is your favorite acting role you portrayed? Like of all your roles, I'm assuming Chase is your favorite.
My favorite role that I ever got to play. I mean, here's the thing. Chase is definitely the role that I would say I identify with like the most closely, in the sense that like that character and we're two peas in a pod. Like I understand Chase so well, and I resonate with him. I feel like I brought a lot of myself into that role, so there's that. But in terms of favorite role I got to play, I mean, I got to tell you, I love exploring. I've played different kinds of roles. There was a role that I got to play on a Lifetime movie. It's called Wuthering High. I think it was Wuthering High, like it's like Wuthering Heights, but it was like high school. Anyway, I'm not sure what they ended up titling that movie, but the point is, I got to play sort of like a bad boy, kind of badass. Yeah. And that was fun. That was really fun. I mean, it's not a typical character for me, but like it was an interesting experiment, and that's kind of why I enjoyed it, because I got to basically play Logan in a different world. So it was kind of fun.
Wow. If you don't mind, can you do like a Chase Matthews quote? Like, can you do like a quote that you know by heart? Do you like know any quotes by Chase by heart? Sorry if that
no, you're fine. I was gonna say, I mean, I feel like oh yeah, you know what I do, there is a really good quote that I have by Chase Matthews. So we were just watching this as a cast. We got together after a day of work one day, and we started watching a couple episodes, and just fun just to see what they were what they looked like and how they held up, and just for a little nostalgia. And so there was one scene where, I've become very upset because I have a feeling that Zoey is dating Logan, because Logan is actually giving her chemistry lessons. He's like tutoring her. And so I've like gotten our group of friends together, minus Zoey and Logan. And I'm trying to explain to them, this is a very bad thing, that there's a potential that they're dating, and Michael asks me, he says, why do you care so much? And Chase replies very angrily, because I'm a very caring person. Just purely out of jealousy. I thought that was a good line. So that's a good Chase quote.
Are you able to say like Zoey? Like if he's crazy about Zoey, you would just say Zoey. I'm curious.
I would go Zoey. I mean, that was really like 99% of every line started with "Come on, Zoe" or Zoey. Little bit of that action,
That's awesome. Like honestly, like, I'm excited for Zoey 102. Honestly, Sean. So.
Oh, that's great. Me too. I'm excited about it as well. very different opportunity for me to explore that character as an adult.
Mhm.
And it was really interesting. I think that it's going to bring a lot of depth and, a lot of humor, of course, as well. But it's exploring the character in a new way, and it's really interesting. So it's fun.
Nice.
Excited for you to see it, and everyone else.
Now, you kind of like hinted at earlier. Can you walk me through the audition process? How did you land the role of Chase
Oh,
Matthews?
sure. Yeah, I mean, the auditioning process back then is a lot different than it is now. But back then, I'd get a call from my agent. They would fax over sides. Okay. Yeah. They would fax over some sides. Sometimes they would be harder to read because they were copied so many times. And they weren't like a digital file or anything amazing like that. Can you imagine? Okay. So then, yeah, I know. So we'd receive this fax with the sides on it. And like I said, out it comes. It says Untitled Jamie Lynn Spears Project. I recall the sides being anywhere from like 3 to 5 pages, nothing too crazy. I believe it was the scene where I first meet Zoey that they gave me to audition with. And the way it worked is I went into a casting session. That's where you go to a building. There's tons of actors there. It's, kind of what they call, or what they used to call, a cattle call. So everyone would be there. I'd recognize people, audition. I'd get a call back. So that means my agent calls me. They say, hey, they like what you did, so they'd like to see you again. So I go see the casting director who I saw before, but now there's someone else in the room, and they're videotaping it now. Okay. So that's a good sign. There's also less people, So go there, do the audition again, the same way, put it on tape. Now I get another call after I leave. They liked what they liked it. They want to see you again. So now I go to a third callback, and this time it's at Nick Studios on Sunset. So over there, I see a few people, but it's interesting because not all of them look like me anymore. Okay, so before, a lot of boys the same age, but now I'm seeing a couple girls there, and I'm seeing, a few different faces that I just, didn't expect to see. And I realized that they're auditioning the other characters as well, right? So we walk into a room. I walk into a room. Now there's a group of people there. I don't know who they are, but there's a group of people. And I do the audition, of course, on tape again. Feeling a little nervous at this point. I leave. I get another call. And they're like, okay, we want to see you again, Nick on Sunset. And this time I go there, and I actually see Matt Underwood. And I see Aaron Sanders. And I see some of the cast that I end up working with, right? They're there already. I don't know it at the time, but I see them. I don't know what they're auditioning for, what's going on. And I remember walking into the room for at this point, it's my final audition, the final callback. And there's the entire network, all of them there, right? All the heads, all the executives, and there in the middle of the room where I'm supposed to be standing is Jamie Lynn Spears. She's been waiting there because I'm now about to read with her for the final callback. And so I'm super nervous, and I see her, and I'm like, I didn't know she was going to necessarily be there. I'm like freaking out inside, not outside. And so we do the audition, and I got to tell you, Chase is he's already a little nervous. He's a little awkward. So it all feeds into it, right? And it's perfect, right? It all ends up working out very well for me. So I remember it feeling good, and I remember immediately the creator of the show starting to ask me questions, ask Jamie questions, and start to bring out some chemistry, And anyway, by the time that audition was over, I remember getting a call from my agent. Big congratulations! Like you booked this pilot. It was a pilot at the time. They didn't know what it was going to turn into, but they were banking on it for sure because by the time I was done with the first episode, they had already ordered 13 other episodes, and yeah, then the ball was rolling.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the birth of Chase Matthews right there, like the birth of
Yeah, that was the moment. Yeah, it was like a real life Chase Matthews moment when I first met Jamie Lynn Spears. It was like, oh, I'm awkward. What's going on? This is crazy. But it all worked out because, Chase is a little awkward, so it's fine.
Wow. Yeah. Now, favorite Zoey 101 character and episode, and any cool behind the scenes stories on the side?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, if I had to name my favorite actor that I got to work with on Zoey 101, there's a lot of them. I mean, it was really cool working with like Miranda Cosgrove and like people like that, like Jeanette McCurdy. Like, it was really awesome. But I got to tell you, Thomas F. Wilson, okay? I don't know if you know that name, but he played our disc golf coach in one of the episodes, and he's a very famous actor for being Biff in Back to the Future.
Biff Tannen?
Yeah, Biff Tannen, exactly. And so, yeah, that was huge getting to work with him. I was like blown away as a kid. That's yet again another one of the movies that I'm going to throw back to my VHS collection. Back to the Future 1 and 2 was in that collection. I don't know what happened to Back to the Future 3. I guess we couldn't get our hands on it or something. But the point is, Thomas F. Wilson was a huge character in my life. So getting to work with him was awesome. Super fun.
That is really cool. See, Back to the Future is personally my favorite movie of all time. So
me too. It's definitely like my top 3 for sure. It's such a great movie. It's indisputably one of the best movies ever.
Yeah. Thank you.
Objectively. So people don't get to have a bad opinion about Back to the Future. If they do, they should just keep it to themselves, Do us all a favor.
Okay, well, I could just go back in time then. Right? Right, Sean?
Exactly.
Now, do you have any cool stories?
Back in time and take it back.
Do you have any cool stories, like, with the cast? Like, any funny, like, I don't know. We got you guys down the side. I don't know, any cool stories? Like, would you guys? I know for Ned's Declassified, the one that Devin, the one that plays Ned, he told me like they would play video games on site and all that. Do you have any cool stories?
Oh yeah, I mean, we would definitely, play video games. I've learned how to play guitar on set, which is really fun. I brought an acoustic guitar on set all the time, and I'd play it and kind of taught myself how to play a little bit, and I got to also share that with some of the cast, so they got to play around on guitar a little bit. I know that Chris Massey has some really good memories of us playing guitar together, which is really cool. And like you said, video games definitely were a thing. I think I brought my N64 one time. Also, fun story. Do you remember the Tech Mates from the show?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So that was basically because Jamie Lynn Spears one day brought an actual, I don't know if you know what that is, but it was called a sidekick back in the day. It was a real phone. It was made by a company called Danger. And it was like the first real smartphone, if you ask me, in the way that like the iPhone ended up moving. So there was already like Blackberries and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm talking about things that you don't know what they are, but basically they're like pre-iPhone smartphones, right?
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And the sidekick, I remember Jamie Lynn came to set one day with a sidekick, and I was like, oh dang, what the heck is that? And she was able to use AOL Instant Messenger on it, which AOL Instant Messenger was like the way that we all chatted back in the day. So using that, it was like being able to text, but even better. It was so funny. Like so we all got sidekicks, and it was weird. Different time.
Wow. Now, before they announced Zoey 102, were you willing to come back? Did you want to come back before they even announced Zoey 102? To come back? Chase?
I'm very connected to that character, and I've always been open to reprising the role of Chase because, like I said, I feel like there's something about that character that I was able to sort of cultivate myself. And the idea of exploring him as an older person, as an adult, was always interesting to me. I always thought, wow, that would be, I wonder what he would be like. Would he still be awkward? Would he still be bitter? Would he still be, self-conscious and not confident? Where's he at? It would just be an interesting idea. So that always intrigued me. And to answer your question, yeah, I would always be willing to jump back into that world, not just because of the character, but also because of the other actors in that show. I had fun with them. They're such great people. And, I never would have imagined that we would have had as much fun as we ended up having. We ended up getting really lucky in the sense that everyone was amazing and really fun and great to be around. So, I feel lucky. And as a result, like it always made the prospect of doing something like that again really attractive, because I loved working with those people. So, yeah.
I think they said like Zoey 102 is supposed to be like someone's getting married, but they don't say like who's getting married. Someone's getting married.
Yeah, I can't say anything about that. No spoilers coming over here.
Chase is getting married. Okay. That'd be cool. Whoa.
I see what you're doing here, but I'm not going to give away anything.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Your
job to fish. It's my job to not let you fish too well.
It's like the Tom Holland. You know Tom Holland?
Yeah.
He actually, for interviews, he loves to spoil things. I don't know if you knew that. Did you know that?
Well, I did not know that, but I'm sure that I'm sure that's come around to bite him in the butt a couple times. Maybe, I don't know.
But you seen? Have you seen the Avengers movies? I want to spoil for you. Before Infinity War came out, he said that everyone dies.
Oh my god.
And
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm sure he may have heard a little bit of something, like a little backlash from that. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Now, is there a certain type of role you would love to do, like a Western? I don't know. Like, is there a certain sci-fi? Is there a certain type of role you would love to do?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to be in any sort of sci-fi world. That sounds awesome. That sounds really. I mean, I got to tell you, when the first new round of Star Wars movies came out, they had a massive cattle call audition again, where they reached out to people all across the U.S. to try and audition for, I think it was the role of Flynn.
Ooh.
And yeah, so I auditioned for it, and yet again, I did get a few callbacks. I got 2 callbacks, excuse me. So I did a self-tape, got called in to do an audition, and then after that, I got called in for a second audition. And so, yeah, I don't want to say I got close to being anywhere in the Star Wars movie, but I did get a taste of what it could have been like. And so ever since then, I've been obsessed with the idea of being in a sci-fi world. Yeah, definitely.
So would you want to be like in a time travel type of movie? That'd be cool.
I mean, sure. Like time travel's tough. I got to tell you, like, I'm not against being in any time travel movie. It's just hard to make a good time travel movie, as I'm sure you know. Back to the Future sort of wrote the book on it, but even movies like The Terminator and they do their best. What can I say? But it's not easy to pull it off.
Yeah. Wow. Now, over there's your career. Do you still keep in touch with co-stars and directors you work with? I'm assuming the Zoey 101 cast.
You said, do we still? What was that question? I'm sorry, I didn't catch it.
Keep in touch. Do you still keep in touch?
Oh yeah, definitely, especially now. Like, so after we've just done this project, we're hanging out and we're talking all the time. It's really brought us all back together, I would say. Not that we weren't, on good terms before. We were always like on great terms, but I feel like we hadn't been chatting as much, and now we have, our group chat's kind of pretty active, and we're all in contact, so it's good.
Awesome. That's awesome. Now, if you weren't an actor, what do you think your career would have been? What other interests and hobbies besides acting?
Well, as you know, I mean, acting. Well, I don't know if you know this, but basically, acting is something that is kind of new for me again. So I wasn't, before this project came around, I would audition every now and then, certainly, but I have a 9 to 5. I work at a studio. I work behind the camera now for the most part, and so I love the idea of getting a second chance at acting, because it's really a cruel mistress. I mean, I love it so much. It's so much fun, but it's not easy to survive and in the world of acting. So, outside of that, I've been really lucky to have another career and great friends, and and I do love to, we got together yesterday. We played some Dungeons and Dragons. I love to play my PC games. I have a good time.
Nice. That's really cool. We played some D&D. I think that's what they call it, Dungeons and Dragons. D&D.
Oh yeah, we dressed up for one of our friends' birthdays yesterday and played D&D. It was really fun.
Nice. That's sick.
Yeah.
Wow. Now,
my character's called Drakstar. He's a tiefling.
That's really cool. That's now, favorite band or artist type of music? What music does Sean like?
Oh man, that's hard to narrow down. I listen. I love music. I really like funk. I love pop and rock and indie, and I love electronic music. So I mean, it's like really across the board here. I love like I've been listening to Neil Francis is a great artist. He's really cool. Like a nice like synthesis of pop and funk, which is nice. I love me some classics. I love Michael Jackson. I love his music. So I love Kevin Parker, Tame Impala. Fun music.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah,
so I love a lot of 80s rock music. That's my favorite type of music.
I love 80s rock. So what we're talking like Toto, like what do we Rosanna? What are we talking about? John Mayer's great. Have you heard his latest album?
Oh, he's good too. Yeah, John Mayer. Honestly,
yeah, his latest album is very much inspired by like 80s rock.
So
like Eric Clapton style rock on there, and like the vibe.
See, my favorite band is like 70s, 80s, and 90s. Queen.
Oh yeah,
that's my favorite band of all time.
I don't blame you, man. Queen is one of the best bands to ever do it.
Yeah, like if I could take a DeLorean to see one of their concerts, I would.
Oh yeah. Well, I would agree with that 100%. I can't even imagine what it must have been like to see Freddie do his thing live. Yeah. You can't. I mean, I've seen the movie, but like you said, the Time Machine probably would have been the way to do it. But yeah, his guitarist too, Brian Mays. I mean, one of the best to ever do it. They're amazing. No doubt.
Honestly. Now, do you have any favorite movies and TV shows?
I mean, we talked about Back to the Future.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I really like movies like. Have you seen No Country for Old Men?
The title sounds. Can you tell me who's in it?
Great. Yeah, it's got Javier Bardem,
okay.
And it has Tommy Lee Jones, Josh Brolin.
Ooh, this is a good cast already. It's a really good cast.
One of the coolest movies ever. It's like I think it's Coen Brothers. They make great movies. Like I love what they do. But then again, like also I love movies like Mad Max Fury Road might be the best action movie ever made. I don't know. It's really up there. You know what I mean? Like it's so incredible. So I love movies like that too, Just kind of depends.
Do you have favorite TV shows? Like any TV shows you like to watch? Are you a TV show person?
I mean, listen, I loved Breaking Bad. I loved The Sopranos. Like I love good TV shows that are fun. I really liked Game of Thrones. Like but And we've been watching Last of Us. It's pretty good. I mean, to be honest with you, like, loved Chernobyl. I don't know if you saw that. It's a miniseries. It's so fucking great. It was really interesting and scary. You want to watch something scary? Watch Chernobyl. It's like scarier than any horror movie I've ever seen.
Favorite sports and favorite teams at sports though, Sean?
I gotta tell you, I'm not really too much into the world of sports. I'll watch a game if it's on. Like, I don't really understand why people get so like
crazy about it.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I just don't. Yeah, I just don't. It's really cool. Like when people do cool stuff, you know, like if I'm watching a football game and I see an amazing like run or I see a great pass, I'm like, damn, that was sick. Like that's cool. I like it, but it's just funny. Like the whole team thing. Yeah, it's funny. It's really funny. You know, like my wife's dad is like a huge Saints fan, and a couple. I think it wasn't the last time he was here. Maybe the time before that, there was a Saints game on, and they lost, and it was like it ruined his entire mood for like the rest of the day. And I was just like, how is this even happening? It was so funny. Like his partner at the time, she was like, "Oh, I really hope the Saints don't lose because he's gonna be upset." And I was like, "That's just like, how do you let this happen like to your life where like a team can lose and like you're sad and you feel like it's like has to do with you or so. I don't know. It's just funny." But yeah, anyway. Wow. Must be great.
Now, favorite food. What's your favorite food?
That's really tough. I mean, listen, I really, really love good Mexican food. I also love Middle Eastern food. I love sushi. But then let's get real. Like, if it came down to it, what am I going to get? Probably a hamburger. Like, I love hamburgers. I love In-N-Out Burger. Specifically, I'm not going to lie. I'm one of those guys. Sorry, the rest of the world. It's really good. It's not just really good. It's that it's unique. It's just, there's nothing else quite like In-N-Out. But yeah, I love all burgers. I'm a burger man. I like pizza too. I mean, shit. I love it all. I love food. Yeah. Yeah, I love a Detroit style pizza. Have you ever had a Detroit style pizza?
No, but I've had Chicago pizza. That's where I'm at. So.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. You guys have the worst pizza. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, objectively for sure, definitely. Because it's not even. It's like pie. You're talking about your deep dish pizza, yeah. No.
Yeah, that's not pizza.
Real Chicago style pizza is more like Chicago tavern style, where it's like thin and cut into squares.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about, like crackery kind of style pizza.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. That's better. But yeah, like I don't know. Was it
Illuminati's?
Illuminati's or something? Yeah, yeah. Is that what it is? Right? Is that the one with the deep dish? Right?
Yeah, Illuminati's. They got Giordano's. Do you know any of those places?
I know about Illuminati's, and I know about one other one too. But I haven't been there. I know. You know what they do and how they do it, and honestly, I wouldn't be against trying it. But here's the thing: is like, if we're gonna talk about pizza, it's all about New Haven style beats. I don't know if you ever heard of it or tried it, but
that's where it's at.
That's where it's at. Yeah, that's real pizza. That's where the best pizza is. Maybe not just in the country, but potentially in the world. I don't care. Even if you like go to Italy, all of it. Yeah, it's real pizza. It's like, because like, you know, Neapolitan style, like what they do, you know, like that's a different kind of vibe. You know, real pizza is like somewhere in between. It's like a fusion between what we do here in America and there. Mm-hmm. And it's like, that's a Beats. It's really good.
So a Beats is the goods. That's the good stuff.
If you ask me, for sure. Yeah. A Beats. Yeah. And then of course, you know, like I said, a Detroit style is fun, dude. It's great. I don't know if you've ever tried a Detroit style pie, but it's basically it's cooked in a rectangular tin.
Okay.
And it's also thick, but it's got the cheese first and then the sauce on top. A little bit like Chicago style too. Chicago does the same thing, right? They put the cheese on the bottom and then the sauce on top. Yeah. But they have racing stripes. They have like 3 stripes you put on top. And the cheese is baked all the way to the side. So there's no real. The crust is like baked cheese. It's fucking good.
That sounds good right now. That sounds good. So I heard you're gonna buy us pizza then? Okay.
Listen, I watch a lot of Dave Portnoy. Okay, I'm sorry. He is the pizza king. He knows what he's talking about. He's tried so many different types of pizza. Like if you watch enough Dave Portnoy, you'll know about what pizza is.
Is that the Barstool guy? I think.
Yeah, he's a pizza expert.
So if I interviewed him, you'd go crazy.
I actually would. Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I would tell you to say, hey, like tell Dave I say what's up. You know. For sure.
Well, if you ever wanted to co-host, you could co-host that one. Like, am I?
Yeah, dude. I mean, yeah. If you get Dave on and I can be on, I will definitely do it.
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah. Especially, I mean, I don't think he's gonna be interested in talking to me. He's funny, dude. He's like I said, if he wants to do anything with me, I'll be there. We'll have a good time. He's hilarious.
Oh yeah. Okay. Now, are there any projects you have in the works? Anything coming up in the works besides Zoey 102? Yeah.
I mean, nothing acting wise besides Zoey 102. No, like I was saying, that really Zoey 102 brought me back into the world of acting. I wasn't really doing any of that before Zoey 102 came around. So, I'm open to auditioning for other roles and exploring other roles, whatever opportunities might come my way. Like I'm all about it. But essentially, what I'm doing is I'm working on a script. I'm writing a script. It's called Alpha Drive. I'm doing it with my friend Matt, and it's really fun. It's starting to take shape. We're on our 4th draft, so it's like still in the works, but it's really almost fully formed. I would say it's like it's really close to where it needs to be. I think we're like 1 or 2 drafts away from it being done. And then I'm working at Eagle Rock Studios. We have three facilities here in Atlanta. We have one in Norcross, actually 2 in Norcross, one off of Best Friend Road, another one off of Skyland Court, and then we have one in Stone Mountain here in Atlanta. And they're really nice premier facilities. We have Bad Boys 4 filming at the one that off Best Friend Road, along with a show called Will Trent, which is on ABC.
Okay.
We have a pilot shooting at the location in Stone Mountain. It's called Judgment. So it's cool. We have a lot of stuff going on, and it's an interesting world that I'm living in now. Running the studio space with the team that I have over there. They're really great. It's really fun. Yeah. When
you say your script, not Matt, like Matthew Underwood?
No, it's actually my friend Matt. His name is Matt Cisneros. He's here in Atlanta, and he's my writing partner.
That's dope.
He's great. He's a really cool person.
Yeah, so there are people like, oh, Matthew Underwood, he's working with.
Yeah, no, Matt Underwood has read my script, and he's been giving me some great advice, and in fact, I've been getting some great advice from the whole cast. I let them read it, and it's been really great. Because one of the castmates that we have, his name is Jack Salvatore. He plays Mark Del Figolo in the show. He's probably the most talented writer that I know. He's really, really, really smart, and he knows what he's doing. And so he read the script, and he had some incredible notes for me. So I'm working on those. I'm working on implementing those notes into this next draft right now. Like he's helped me out a lot. So if this does go anywhere, I'm gonna have him to thank for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Speaking of projects, like, do you know when Zoey 102 is coming out? Do they know yet? Do they ever say?
I don't have any exact dates about it. I've heard some things. I can tell you that I've heard it's definitely like they're aiming for the summer.
Ooh.
So between June and August is like a decent window that I'd imagine that they're hoping that it might come out. So,
but it will come out before this year ends, though.
I think so. I think it's going to come out before the end of the year. Yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't. If it didn't, there would be something going on. So,
okay, I'm excited. So.
Me too, man. It's
Awesome.
gonna be heck yeah, dude. Maybe we'll do another interview when it comes out and we can talk about it.
Oh yeah. And now, what advice would you give younger people who want to become an actor, an actress? What is your advice? No, Sean's advice.
You know, here's the thing. If someone really wants to be an actor,
Okay.
I feel like any advice I have isn't going to help, because at the end of the day, it's funny. This is coming to me now. I'm realizing it, because wanting to become an actor is like wanting to, like, a successful actor, because it really depends on what you want to do. If you want to be an actor, then I would say, go do some awesome theater work.
Okay.
See if you like it, because that's where you're going to explore your acting chops and find out if you really even want to be an actor. Because when I hear people say, "Oh, I want to be an actor," sometimes what I actually am hearing people say is, "I really want to be famous. Like, I want to be on camera, and I want to get noticed, and I want attention, and this and that." And it's like, if that's your motivation, great, fine. You're gonna then you have to find a creative way to get noticed. You know what I mean? And if you're really like wanting to be an actor, and that's your motivation to get noticed, then maybe you'll find a creative way to do that. But I usually think the people who want to do it that way are not motivated correctly, right? Like they're motivated by the wrong reasons. So that's why I'm saying, if you want to be an actor, just go and do a play. Don't get on camera. Go do some plays. See if you like it. If you like it, if you really enjoy that work, right? If you enjoy memorizing all those lines and getting out, in front of people and doing something live every day or a couple times a week, then maybe acting is for you. But that's my advice: is to start doing stuff locally and see where that goes. See how you like it. And to be honest, a lot of people have been noticed that way before. It's not uncommon that actors get pulled off of theatrical productions to go do movies and television, especially if they're really, really good. So it's not like that's a path that leads nowhere. It's just that's the path that's going to guarantee that you get the most experience as an actor, versus just auditioning or trying to take a lot of headshots or get another agent or this and that. Like, that world is so rough. And if you're willing to walk down that path, good luck.
I like that. I like to always stay humble. Remember, we came from I don't get why people get cocky. You know what I mean, Sean,
yeah, I think humility is really nice. In general, I like it when people are humble, but at the same time, it's interesting too, because this is my perspective has changed a little bit over time. It's like, if you want to get noticed as an actor, you do have to have a lot of confidence. You do have to walk in thinking, whether it's true or not, that you are really something special. And humility, I think, really should only be coming when it's warranted, in the sense that, if you're a successful actor, you should start to practice some humility, right? Because you've gotten to this point where you're successful and you're working. Be humble, be thankful. It's so lucky that you're in that position. But if you want to get noticed and you want to get yourself out there and you want to have a really good chance at making a splash, come in with confidence. Come in with I don't want to say cockiness, but definitely with confidence, for sure. It's more important than the humility in the beginning, because in the beginning you have something to prove. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So then, once you've proven that and you feel like you're, people know who you are, and you feel, like I said, if you feel like you're a successful actor, then you can start working on making, checking yourself, making sure that you're not getting weird. I've heard about it. I've seen it with other people. But that comes with success, though. If you're super cocky and you're if you need to humble yourself actively and you're not successful, then that's it's not a good look. And also, it's like, I don't know what to tell you. But when you go into that audition, or when you go and make an impression, you should be as confident as you can be. 100%.
I like that.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to come back on for a part 2, answer some fan submit questions, also talk about Zoey 102 when it comes out? Would you be?
That's what I was gonna say. Is like, yeah, let's see what happens when Zoey 102 comes out, because I would love to come back and chat with you about it, and you can tell me how you liked it and all that stuff. So
I'm sure there'll be fans having questions. Like I could have people submit questions for you. Like I could say so and so asked like Zoey 101 fan 2 or something. I mean,
yeah, sure, that's great, no problem.
Perfect. Well, do you have any questions before I ask you my last question? Do you have any questions?
I mean, what I would like to know, like, what got you into doing this? Like, what's your inspiration for this?
The interviews, the podcast.
Yeah, for interviewing actors. Like, what made you, or for anyone? I mean, it seems like you're interviewing not just actors but musicians and people like that. Where did that come from? Where's that motivation come from within you?
Like that. Well, if you're curious, I started these April 29th of 2020. And I started these because how the pandemic made people down and depressed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll help cheer people up with positive vibes. So I figured interview some people from like my childhood, other people's childhoods, help cheer them up, help make them happy.
That's so cool.
I love making people happy, Sean. What can I say?
I'm right there with you, man. That's why I love to make people laugh. It's one of my favorite things. So that's so cool. I love that.
I figured I interview one of my favorite characters, probably my favorite character of all time, Chase Matthews.
Oh, no way. You don't have to say that just because you're interviewing me. Because that's so nice, dude.
Because you're so cool and awesome. Like, honestly, like, everyone, if you haven't seen Zoey 101, please watch it because he's amazing in it, Sean. So.
That's so nice of you to say that. I really appreciate that. I had so much fun doing that project, and it's funny because throughout the years, I have noticed people really do resonate with the character of Chase. It means a lot to people, and I think it's because a lot of ways Chase represents the struggle that a lot of people go through in life.
Mm-hmm.
Just wanting to be accepted, wanting to feel confident, wanting to tell someone how they feel but not being able to. All of those things are very common, things experience all the time. So I think that's why people resonate with the character of Chase so much.
I definitely, I do, because I told you before the podcast.
Dude, we're all, it's a human thing, my friend. We all feel it. So,
is there anything you would like to promote and shout out, Sean? Like, I'll link down below the video description for people to check out. Yeah.
I wish I did. I don't. I don't have anything that I can promote right now. Aside from, hey, when Zoey 102 comes out, whenever, check it out. Watch it. I hope you guys enjoy it and have fun. But I do Twitch every now and then. I do stream on Twitch. I haven't been doing it in a while, so I'm not going to plug it right now. But next time we chat, maybe I'll be up and running with that again, and I'll plug that, and we'll see what's going on there. But I do love to play video games and hang out with people and chat and discuss things and just have a good time. So hopefully I'll be doing that again soon next time we chat.
Do you want me to link down below your Instagram page? Your Insta?
Sure, yeah. I mean, if people want to follow me on Instagram, like, I'm always all for it. You can definitely link it down below. That'd be great. I'm not against it.
I got you. Well, thank you. Thank you, and Sean, for being an awesome, amazing guest. I had a fun time chatting with you. Thank you, Sean.
Me too. I had such a great time. It was awesome. I know it's been a long time, so I'm glad we finally got to make it happen. And I'm excited for you to watch Zoey 102. And when you do, just let me know that you've seen it, and we'll chat again.
Thank you, Sean. Have a great day, everybody, and stay awesome. And you stay awesome, Sean.
You too, man. Keep doing what you do. You're the best. Cheers.